You are listening to I Am Refocused Radio with your host, Shamaya Reed. This show is designed to inspire you to live your purpose and regain your focus. And now, here's your host, Shamaya Reed.
Welcome back to I Am Refocused Radio. We are here once again, and just like any other time, we have another amazing show lined for y'all today. Man, today we're going to be talking about photography. We have an expert over 30 plus years. I mean, she probably came out the womb with the camera. I mean, she is an expert. Precious Williams. She is a fine art photographer, a tech educator, a FAA certified drone pilot, and she is deeply compassionate about storytelling. So we're going to learn all about her amazing story. Has a lot of stuff in the background. Like we like to say, the background story is always something that you have to appreciate because everyone has their own fingerprint, their own signature. And man, I can't wait to learn more about Precious. And that's an amazing name, by the way. That's a cool name, Precious. So first and foremost, welcome to the show. How you doing?
I'm doing so well. Thank you so much, Maya, for having me on today. It is really a privilege. You're really balancing out the different backgrounds of media, and we appreciate your work.
I appreciate that. So before we go crazy into the details, you kind of vibe off with me a little bit when I read about you being a tech nerd. So kind of touch on some of your background, because you've done a lot of things before you got into photography professionally. So kind of tell the audience a little bit about your background.
Mm-hmm. So in 1984, I was in Chicago. I was in grade school, and there was a special program that was happening at the Museum of Science and Industry. Unlikely place, but the likely place for a pilot program for young people to get introduced to computer programming. And programming at the time, we were using BASIC and something called Logo, which is a forerunner for gaming software. And you can imagine it took off from there. Even in school, though, I was just assisting with different things. First, they were manual, typing on a typewriter, click, 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 push, those things, filling out envelopes. And then very quickly, the things changed when they became electronic. So as everything was being introduced from Microsoft, before it was Microsoft Word, before there was a 1.0, there was just Word, and I was there at the beginning of it, comparing my manual setup to the new electronic one. I was a tester, informally, but testing nevertheless, because the companies needed it for programs like Photoshop. Adobe was doing a lot of different things. AT&T was right there with all their software, IBM. So learning how to use those Sun operating systems, using Oracle, you name it, I've been there. Now they have so many divisions that or sections that they break things up into. But back in the day, we had to know how to do it all. You couldn't be a DBA or a programmer or this. You were a systems person. You had to understand it all. So I've learned so many programming languages. You learn them as quickly as they come out and what the companies needed. So I worked with a company called Tellabs. They are still doing fiber optics, which people are more aware of now, but they were into that back in the day. So I did programming with them, did quality assurance. The list goes on. Yeah, it's a long list.
That's awesome. I mean, that's really amazing work to be involved with. I mean, were there any favorite parts or areas that you kind of maybe applied to your creative side? Because a lot of people, when they grow up and are exposed to certain things, sometimes it still rubs off of them. That becomes their signature. Is there anything in the tech world that you apply in your creative side?
I believe I apply everything to my creative side because creative now overlaps with tech a lot, right? If you have a nice piece of artwork, how are you going to show it to people unless it's live? You have to find a way to put it out electronically or technically. So I already have the skills to do that. And sometimes I have to take a step back and go, okay, I don't need to do all of those things for myself or for my company just because I know how to, but I can find someone who does, and I can figure out who really knows what they're doing to my quality level versus someone who does not. But one thing in particular, I do appreciate the question, actually two things that have catapulted into other sectors. with my IT background. One of them is getting into the sciences behind surveying. So I was put into a position doing some volunteer work while I was in Zambia as an assistant to a land surveyor. And that taught me those skills. And now I'm a drone pilot applying all of those principles. So because of IT, I got into land surveying, drafting for them, and then now on with my company doing aerial surveying using drones. And if I didn't have the IT background, I think it would have been much more complicated to get started with this. And another thing is I do wooden artwork. I take my photos and make something I've designed or created called mosaic fusion collages that takes silhouettes of people, the artwork that I have that motivates people to deal with things that they're going through in life or to celebrate things they're going through in life, and make it into wooden art using laser engravers. So all the knowledge behind how does this photo transition into this piece of software that's going to transition into this laser project, most of that is because of my comfort level with IT.
That definitely takes a tech nerd to put together, because I can imagine if some amateur try to do that, it might be dangerous.
I'm sure people can do it. It would just take a while to figure it all out. Yeah.
Once again, listen to Refocus Radio, watching us online, talking to our guest today, Precious Williams. She has a website you can go visit. It's art.photodronesolutions.com. I understand that you have a lot of pieces available that people can shop and buy. Not to get off track here, but just real quick, side commercial. Are there any particular pieces that are currently popular and seems to be catching people's eye and they keep buying it?
Mm-hmm. There are a list of items there that are bestsellers because they really are. People resonate to different things, but the art that's on that website, and thank you for mentioning it, is really resonating with people that are, they may have already done the traditional looking for help or trying to get through a situation, and they need good reminders of principles that they've learned. So my art comes with stories, and it constantly keeps things in front of people. So it is, those pieces in the bestsellers are amazing. One in particular, though, is called The Broken Butterfly. And I can tell you about that a little bit more if you want. But anyway, that is definitely a favorite. And I think it's a very quick aha moment because we don't think of butterflies as ever being broken. They're just beautiful. You know, we learn things about beautiful things or we appreciate them. But a broken butterfly that comes with a story is a little bit different. Yeah.
Well, that's a good teaser to segue right into that. Right before we do that, though, let me frame this up real quick. You have a tagline that I read about frame photos of creation for emotional reset. Kind of walk us through that. And if you don't mind, kind of connect that to the butterfly story, because I think that goes and ties together with your personal story, including even trauma. That'd be awesome to talk about.
Yeah. So first of all, thinking about photos, you can frame them, of course, framed or unframed, but for emotional reset, that's a powerful statement because everyone, I dare say, even small children these days go through things. To what degree and how heavy it feels varies, right? But we all go through things. And we need to get ourselves out of whatever low we're in. And that's what I mean by emotional reset. But how does a photograph do that? So using the broken butterfly as an example, I think most people know about butterflies, especially the ones we hear about migrating from North America to South America and how they travel so far, how strong they are, how resilient. But what if you heard that a butterfly had to do that with up to 70% of its body missing? They do. They can. It's been documented. And that's a little bit different, right? Because broken, we can identify with something as beautiful and as fragile as a butterfly being broken. You may be that child who feel like your world is shattered. And you could be having some very adult experiences, or you could be an adult with some very adult experiences, but you feel broken, you're shattered, you're crushed. Whatever has put you into that mindset or into that situation, we have to think, how do we keep going? And it's not a, will we keep going? Because the alternative is giving up, and giving up could mean end of life. It could mean suicide. It could mean lashing out and hurting others. And those shouldn't be the options, the end of our options. We need positive options. So where does a butterfly get its strength from? How does a butterfly keep going? So in my stories, I explain some facts about butterflies. They migrate together, and the other butterflies aren't trying to figure out who's broken. They're just trying to get each other to a destination. So with humans, we have community. Right? We have family members. Not everyone is a dog. Not everyone is doing us dirty. We always will have a resource, even if it's some of the organizations that are out there just for that purpose, to help people. There's always a resource. Some will say, hey, we have prayer. Of course we do. And that is top on my list, but there's always something for everyone, even if that doesn't resonate with them. But butterflies get their strength from someone. Someone had to put it into them to be able to keep going and to be able to finish the task at hand, which they're really helping other people, right? Butterflies are here to help us. Yeah. So that story is nice. You'll hear it and think, wow, I need to tap into those resources. But again, we go on a low, right? We get down. What if you saw the butterfly with its broken wing again? It'll instantly trigger, oh, wait a minute, I have other options. That right. Butterfly is going to keep doing its work. That butterfly is doing its work in that photo. It's something that our mind does. It changes where we are, puts us in a different place, and helps us to move forward in a positive way. It is a reset. So every time visually the photo is seen of that broken butterfly with that story, it changes us. It gives us what we need in that moment to get through that situation and get to the next better part of our day. So that's why the photos are set up as being designed for emotional reset. The story, the photo, the constant reminder in front of us, and that impact. We can do it for ourselves. We can do it for other people. It's something that's very powerful.
I can tell you're passionate about it, and I know there's reasons why you've been on media platforms, and I listen to a couple of shows, and it's like, yeah, you are consistent. You know what you're talking about. You got the tech background. You got the vocabulary, you got the definitions. You checking the boxes, man. So I want to say that because with your own personal story, you choose to use your work to highlight those little victories, and those little victories, they add up to big home runs down the road. So touch on your personal story and how that also inspires how you are choosing to showcase your work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, my principle behind sharing my personal expressions is really, I share what I need to make the point from my personal experiences. I am not the person who needs to be dramatic. Everyone has pain, and I wouldn't dare say, I want your pain. Oh, your pain is so easy. I can do your pain. I don't want your pain. I'm good with the one I have, with the situations that I have. And so I'm sure everyone can relate to whatever situation. It's not always pain either. Sometimes it's a happy moment in life that just needs to be recalled, or there was a glitch and you overcame a problem. But if you have a visual reminder, excellent, especially in something as neutral as creation. So my storytelling, I give enough of my own experience to help people to understand I have been through something, but I don't make people feel gory about it. That's not necessary. You get a lot more out of life sharing things that are sweet, right? People are drawn to honey, right? As opposed to something that's too spicy. It may be entertaining for some, and that may draw some audiences, but I just feel my work is here to comfort. And all of us enjoy the idea of being comforted and being able to share that with others. So I like the photos of creation because, again, they're neutral. Where do you not find creation? And even the pictures that I found, yes, the butterflies, they migrate through the Americas, but the macaw is not native to the Americas. That's found in the Hope, but we know about them because they're so beautiful. We see them in pictures, we hear about them, but we don't know about a widowed macaw. We may not know that experience. And how many people get photos of such unique experiences? It's a rare thing. So to be able to share how I've photographed rare things, give them a piece of my story and keep it rolling. Let's get to the comfort part. That's where I try to keep my focus. Yeah.
I can imagine people watching this video, kind of like how they in poetry has snaps, people that snap when they have it. What you're saying right now is like poetic, and I love the choice of words and how you deliver your words. Like, yeah, you definitely come off as a creative person. Like, I feel like only creatives can take something and create something visually that only can come from them. I think that's so powerful and it's so unique, and it's truly a gift, because if you are not a creative person, the struggle is real.
The struggle is very real. And honestly, you're giving me goosebumps. You can't see that. But I have to admit something very freely. I keep my hands down. I have to admit something. I didn't go out with the idea, I'm going to go out and take a picture of a broken butterfly. Excuse me, do you know how small, anyone who's even using your phone, when you're taking pictures of something as small as a butterfly, you don't know if it's broken or not. Yeah. There's no way you're going to see all of that, or it's very unlikely. I should say not no way, but it's very unlikely, highly unlikely. So what has happened is I know I've had experiences. I know I've learned a little something about these different creatures, but going back and reflecting on them. So artists, to your point, Shemaiah, I feel artists who present artwork from their own heart and their own experiences, their own eyes, are giving a little piece of themselves because they've meditated over their work. This is years of photographs, years of conversations with people, years of comforting people. I used to use my photos as little cards. I'd hear someone's situation. I'd send them a little card. Thank you cards, get well cards. I'm sorry you had a lost card. I would send them out. And the responses that came back to me made me realize how much of a gift those photos were in encouraging people. So artists have to take what they have and what they're given to be able to give. And I think that's what we do. That's what makes us us. That's what makes us unique. Yeah.
Again, everyone in the audience, that's some good stuff right there. It's almost like we just got some coffee and we're in the lounge and listening to this. I have to get back on track. This is so good. Once again, listen to Refocus Radio, watching us online, listening to us on radio or podcast, talking to our special guest today, Precious Williams. I have to say again, that's a dope name. Precious is a dope name. When you think about the opportunities that come with success, it's not something that we kind of always navigate knowing exactly where we're going to end up. It's just something that's an ongoing process. But with that process, there are always challenges or setbacks. What do you believe you've learned so far, showcasing your art to the world and creating success for yourself to be able to do this creatively, full time, and not just that, but creating impact along the way?
That is a really good question, because the challenges are only there to help us to achieve a new level of goodness, right? So challenges aren't new. I'm a person who had challenges at the age of 2. I remember being resisted, not given something when I wanted it. But you were 2. So, you expect that. But every challenge should teach us something. And I've learned a really, I'll say divine lesson, because it is a God-given lesson, that you have 2 options to every challenge. Two, you can let it conquer you or you can conquer it. Mm-hmm. And perspective is everything. I feel very firmly about what my life is about, and that's not optional. So the challenges are just to say, how are you going to keep going to your end result? So with my artwork and my goal to encourage people, a challenge has been people don't look at art of creation with stories. What I have seen mostly is people look at them with facts. Facts. Butterflies migrate from North America to South America. You can see that they're very beautiful. And those facts are very important, and they do form a foundation for the stories that I have. But how many people keep pictures of broken butterflies? I wonder how many photographers have thrown them away. Yeah. You know? So I've chosen to take the challenges in my life and the photos that match them of creation and highlight how it's possible to get through it. Now, I don't talk about all the details of what has helped me to get there, but the photos become the focus point of, you know what, this can be done, and it has been done. And if I did it, I am no more, no less than the next person. If I did it, if I have those resources, then so do you. And I'm convinced of that. But trying to show audiences a new perspective on looking at photos of creation and learning from them, it's something new to people. So getting the exposure, getting it out there, that's been the big challenge. Yeah, that is the big challenge. So services like yours, amazing for helping people to tap into this resource. The company that gives people an opportunity to view those photos in their workspace or in their home or in their offices, wherever they need to have the photos. That's unique. So I'm appreciative of those services, and people just talking about how they've been affected. I should have been keeping a catalog all these years, and I didn't think about it. It was just from here, but now I'm trying to do that. So whenever we share, we get over that challenge of no one knows about this. That's a challenge. Go ahead, please.
I was going to say, how many books have you written?
One is in the making. You
have like 7 bestsellers in there or something.
You are very encouraging.
All this good wisdom, though, like for real, I'm learning some things myself, and I appreciate the perspective that you're coming from. And you said that word multiple times, and you didn't know this, but it was in my notes to ask this question. And that is, when you think about the blend of different styles of photography, from up above aerial photography with your drone expertise versus ground level, my question was, and it's like it was inside my head, what do you look for when you're shooting from the sky that you can't capture from the ground?
So full disclaimer, my aerial photography normally is for photogrammetry. So when I'm in the air flying, I have a surface area I'm trying to map out and collect photos to create something for clients at request. But oftentimes the work finishes and I'm in the air capturing. If you've never done this, go with someone who does drone. Just go with them and watch what they're looking at. It's so different from being in an airplane, and so amazing just to see things 300 feet above, 150 feet up. The earth looks different. People look different. Trees look different. So that perspective, you can't get anywhere. You can't. They do have some sticks that you can do about 10 to 20 feet in the air, but that's not 150. I promise you. It's a different view. So our planet is very beautiful. And the way that things merge together, the way that trees look as they surround water, even the way that roads are situated through neighborhoods, it's very, very beautiful. People's yards look different from 150 feet up. So I end up catching things because I see them as I'm flying, and I'm just taking almost random shots, and then I investigate them later and find some gems like these ones that are on the website. But on the ground, I'm just enjoying myself. I'm normally a a portrait photographer. So taking pictures of people, I can't sell their pictures, right? I sell them their pictures, but I don't sell those publicly. Most people don't even want their pictures. I respect that. If they say no, they don't want them posted, then no one really sees those photos of people that I've taken. But I enjoy taking pictures of people, and the pictures that I love when I'm taking pictures of people end up being something that they would have never seen, because I'm just enjoying the people. I'm enjoying the experience. I'm enjoying their experience. And then I actually do something that is for micro size. I do take pictures of very, very, very close-ups of things. And that is so amazing. There's so many things. If you couldn't see it magnified 30 times, you would never even know it's there. And there's an example on my website of the echinacea booster. People pass echinacea flowers all the time, never notice the intricate details inside of them. And then to blow it up to something like a 60 by 90, you can't help but be, it brightens your day. It brightens your mood immediately. So they are different perspectives, and each one has a place. I can't say that I really morph them all together. Not yet. I just enjoy them. And I'll print anything. I'm a big person to print because I like visual reminders. So things that calm me, things that are just beautiful. Yeah, it's good to do that.
Well, once again, listen, I'll be focused ready watching this online. I don't know what the time went. It just flew out the window. So I had to get back on the game here. Once again, you can catch this anywhere. You can find a podcast, catch this on our YouTube channel. We've been talking to our guest, Precious Williams. Go to her website, art.photodronesolutions.com. I'll let you have the last floor when someone's watching this and they want to learn more about your projects. You mentioned earlier that you are in the process of writing a project. What's some ways that they can stay up to date on what you're doing?
Mm-hmm. So definitely I have Art by PDS, so Photo Drone Solutions, condensed as an acronym is PDS, Art by PDS on Instagram as well as Facebook. And you can get the updates from there. There's a whole campaign. I've been disciplined and counseled. Yes, you too must have all these things up to date. So all of the information will be coming out on those social media platforms as well as YouTube. So I'll be having this program. It'll be reposted so individuals can check us out there. And I promise I will not leave anyone out of what's going on, because it really is encouraging. And the more we inform people where to find us, then they can inform others, and it just trickles from there. So you'll be informed through those social media platforms and YouTube. Yeah.
Like always, in the I'll be focused ready watching us online. Been talking to our guest, Precious Williams. Want to say, like we say all the time, thank you for your time today.
Thank you. I really appreciate you. Thank you for your questions. I don't know how much effort, how much time you put into that, but it feels like you've been studying this for months. I really appreciate it. You got my vibe completely. That was a real pleasure to be here.